Hey everyone, welcome back to Thursday Focus Fridays. Today we are going to be talking with Miss Markeisha. She is a photographer and videographer, and she owns her own business called 3315. And you should definitely go follow her and hit her up if you're in Los Angeles if you need photos. But today we're going to be talking about how she built her business. She hasn't been in it that long. Like, I met Markeisha, she reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm looking for a blogger to do some practice shots with, and this was in 2018 or 2017.
17, yeah.
Yeah, and she was doing her year reflection on her Instagram stories, and she said she did like over 250 shoots or something. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm shook, and the photos look amazing. So hey, would you like to introduce yourself and just say anything else I didn't
know? Thank you so much for having me, Joy. I sincerely appreciate it. I'm always kind of flattered when people are like, hey, I love what you're doing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing something good. So it's humbling. My name is Markeisha, as Joy has said. I am Los Angeles-based photographer, born and raised here, family's here, everything. I have been having a camera in my hand for quite a while, but I never took it serious because I was on the road to college. You have to have a career and do all this kind of stuff. And I finished out my degree, worked in corporate America, and long story short, I got bored. And so I started making money on the side and photography, and that's how the cookie crumbles. But pretty much that's more so my intro. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I feel like so many people want to be a creative in LA, want to be a photographer. So you said you were kind of like always been in LA. So how's that been like? How's LA influenced you, if you think it has, or how has it just made you want to be like your own thing?
The weird part is it's kind of one of those things once you're here, you're always trying to go somewhere. So the funny part is after I graduated college, I had no plans on coming back to Los Angeles, mainly because family was here and, you just want to be independent, but also because I didn't want to like do high school all over again and kind of be stuck. I wanted to venture out. I wanted to get out of California. I wanted to go. And my parents and family always encouraged me to do so. But, I kind of had like an agreement, like, okay, if I get into grad school, I'm going to go wherever grad school is. And funny story, all the grad schools I applied to, I got into none of them. Like, none of them. So heartbreaking. But it was all in God's plan, clearly. Mm-hmm. So I just moved on back to LA. And the best part about it is there's opportunity all the time. I was at home for like a year and a half, worked in the school system, and then I moved to the city and started working from American Express, and then I got a job at Cal State LA. And I'm always taking pictures from my Facebook. My grandma, she's kind of like the person who did the picture thing, and then you realize in the picture business, who doesn't need pictures? And I've done a vast majority of jobs. I can't even believe it. But working in LA, literally a lot of opportunity. I had to realize people come here to, strive for their goals and live their dreams and try to be the best that they can be. And I'm like, Markeisha, you are already here. So you know the land. You don't have to worry about a big life change. Your family is here. Why are you not taking that opportunity that you can take being that you're in the city? So it is extremely helpful. Like a simple DM, hey Joy, I'm in here. Are you, available to shoot? Things like that are doable versus if I was in another state or another country or just not as populated like LA. The opportunities are big. They are a big deal here.
Okay, so walk us through how you decided to leave corporate life and like how many years were you in it and when you were just like, I can't do this anymore.
So funny story. Corporate America, isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful, okay? It's beautiful. But I went to college. I went to Fresno State, which is in central California. And I absolutely loved it there. It was probably the best experience of my life. And the one thing that I always try to keep in mind is your dreams and passions are always with you. I've always had a camera with me. Like, in my sorority, I'm the historian, or at every event, I'm always taking all the pictures for whatever event it was. And one of my sorority sisters had posted on Facebook around 2009, like, oh, Key should be a photographer. Like, she's really good at this. Disregarded it, let it go. Nope. Who does a real job of photography? Didn't believe it. And graduated, came home for a year, worked, and then went to American Express, was making crazy money. And I was just like, this is just not the field that I got my degree in. Versus, is this really what I want to do? Which is kind of tough. So then I finally landed a job at the university. I was working financial aid, was a counselor there. And the one thing that became consistent for me that made me realize this is not what I want to do is because it became easy. Like, I was mastering what I needed to do, getting stuff done, turning it in. I was so busy meeting their expectations that I kind of forgot about myself. But it was easy work. So I was getting it done. It was great. And then I got really, really bored. Like, oh, I'm sitting in traffic for an hour, trying to beat traffic to go do the same old thing, and I'm not happy about it. I don't want to go here. I don't have fun. The best part about work was my coworkers. And so then I had to realize, okay, well, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? And I was just like, okay, I don't have any kids. They kind of need me to depend on them. I'm not married or anything, so I probably want to decide what I want to do. So I love dance, I love to sing, and I love photography. And my sorority sisters, we were having a big 35-year anniversary, and somebody was talking about finding a photographer. And I reached out and was like, you know what? If I take this photography thing serious, this will be a good time to try it. Why not use this as practice? Of course, they don't have to hire me because I don't know what the pictures are going to turn out like. But this will be a good opportunity to kind of like get my feet wet, see if it's something that I really want to do. And that's literally was my first job on a serious level of trying to be a photographer. I bought this super expensive Sony camera, and I think it was October 2016 or 15. I think 15. October 2015 is when I bought my first DSLR. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And it was a lot of work, but it was fun. It was so, so much fun. And from then, I just kind of used a bunch of my friends and say, hey, let's do a photo shoot. Let's do this. And who doesn't want to take pictures? So I was out there for hours with people sometimes. And I was like, well, I have to build a portfolio. So let's start it and let's just get as many people as we can to take pictures, and then, then I'll finally decide to launch in 2016 and see if anybody pays me for my work. So that was pretty much the process of getting to deciding this is something that I can actually do.
That's
and
crazy.
Then, right, like it was such a long process. So even within my launch, I didn't think about how soon I could quit my job. I was more like, is this really gonna work? And so October, I bought the camera, did a couple jobs and did some shoots. And then February is when I decided to do my website launch and start looking for clients. And that's when people actually kind of started looking for me. I think my first job, somebody paid me like $75. I was like, oh, wow, okay. This is really quick money. This could get addicting. You have to be careful. But it was also a lot of work, and you still have to learn the technical sides of editing and how to process and how to manage, and are you even using the right material, just a lot of stuff. And so my first year, 2016, I finally quit my job in September when I started making more money in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, than I was Monday through Friday. So that was the pivotal moment. And I had to make a big financial decision. I'm kind of burning myself out because all of the work I'm doing on the weekend, I have to do the editing during the week, and I'm not finding time for what I need to find time for. So it was literally, it had to be instant decision. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I had an email drawn up for a while, and I just never sent it. And then I just sent it. And I was like, oh my God, I really quit my job. But that's pretty much what led up to it. And then I got serious. That is how I quit my job.
Wow. One note, would you mind turning on the headphones because there is feedback coming in?
Okay. Let's see.
I didn't think about that when we started recording.
Right. Okay, let's see if it'll. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I have these on? Okay, perfect. There we go.
Cool. All right. So that first half I gotta edit. but
Okay,
no problem.
it's okay.
Okay.
I'm still running the this thing too.
All right, great. I think it's just crazy. I listen to a ton of podcasts where like women like have that like moment where they're about to quit their job and like go be entrepreneurs. Like, is it just rainbows after that? After you quit your job?
No. I'm like, it's a bunch of swear words right here. It is not rainbows, Care Bears, and marshmallows. It is college all over again. Because when you're running your own business, you have to care for your business to make sure that other people care for your business. And if you don't take the time to spend in it, then nobody else will take the time to spend in it. So you pretty much get out what you're putting in. So it was twice as hard. Like, it's easy to report to a 9 to 5, go to work, do what they tell you to do, and come home. That is easy. Running the business, you don't even know what your customers want. So the process is extremely strenuous, and you're also dealing in customer service. So one good thing I'm very thankful for all my jobs, they've always been very good at training customer service, and I'm naturally just a really chill person. I like people. So the customer service aspect of owning your own business was extremely essential in running your own business, because you're dealing with customers and they have to tell you what they want. You got to be able to communicate it, and you got to be able to deliver. And also even understand that customer's always right, even delivery. If they're unsatisfied, you have to decide how much of it you're going to change, how much of it you're not going to change, et cetera, et cetera. But it is not peaches and cream up until today. And every day is different. It's a challenge every day. Some nights I'm up editing until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I get maybe 2-3 hours of sleep, and then I have to have a shoot at 8 a.m. After the shoot, I come home and get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep, if I sleep. And then I'm back at editing or, planning the next job or all that good stuff. So I would not call it peaches and cream. It's more like a Sunday on a hot day. It's still hot, but you get to still enjoy the Sunday. There you go.
Okay, so when we did the shoot together, it was you and was that your sister or just a friend? I can't remember.
Oh, she was just a friend.
Okay, yeah, it was you and a friend, and she was just helping you do anything you needed help with that day. So, like, do you have a team? Do you just grab people? What is the process, and how did you kind of realize you couldn't do everything by yourself? Even something as small as having someone come with you on a shoot. Like, you can't do everything by yourself, especially even if it's your own business.
Mm-hmm. And that's like probably the most important thing when running a business too. At some point, you're going to realize you need help. And even for your shoot, she just so happened to be there. And the most important thing is, cool fun fact, not that I thought you were a crazy person at all, but I'm still a female, and you still have to think about the protection aspect, because who's to say who could be behind a picture on Instagram, a booking, payment, nothing. You still have to be safe. So that was always my first rule, is scope out the scene. You don't know what's happening. Thank God nothing has not happened to me, knock on wood. But that's a good thing to always have in the system too. Just always kind of have someone with you for protection, especially if you are female, males too. But before I quit my job, another reason I did quit my job is because I had to hire an assistant, because I wasn't answering my emails fast enough, and I had lost probably 2 or 3 clients because I didn't get back to them in time. And I think it took me probably 3 or 4 days to get back to them. And 2 of them responded, and the one of them specifically stated, "Sorry, another photographer got back to me first. Excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and go with them." And I was just like, oh, this is not good. So I took the time to go through the hiring process, and I hired a student to go ahead and help me. And of course, I paid them monthly, and it worked out very, very well. She was very, very receptive, and it was helpful because I could give her an agenda of what to do for social media, doing the books, and making sure she's responding to people. And then I take care of the other side. So just as simple as that. It's always been important. And then just having someone with me For my big jobs that I do, like big events, weddings, and so much, I have two other people that I shoot with. So the guys, they do most of the work, but I get to have fun with the bride and groom. And then one either decides to do detail, or if I do video, somebody focuses on pictures, and then somebody else focuses on decoration. Because it's just impossible to do it all. You will blow your mind. So I think it's important to realize that you need help, and it's okay to ask for help. You're going to pay for it, either in lack of sleep and exhaustion, or you're going to pay for somebody to help you so you can still remain healthy. So the money is not worth your health. That's when I had to realize I need help.
Speaking of health, let's just talk about that. Like, I'm going to just say like a quick story and then you can give your story, because I know you have a story and we haven't even talked about this. Okay, so in 2017, I was doing so much work with YouTube, editing, trying to make money, hustle, that I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. So basically, for people who don't know what carpal tunnel is, it's basically something that old people get when their bones literally are like, basically it's kind of like arthritis, but in your hands. But it's not with your bones.
Oh my
it's with, I'm not going to get into the science, but your median nerve. And basically my hands, you know, when your foot falls asleep, my hands felt like that 24/7. It wasn't like periodically. It was 24/7 for months.
Oh my goodness. That's so weird. Like the little tingling feeling.
Yeah. So I had to go to physical therapy. I couldn't do work. I had to take a break from YouTube. I had to stop everything so I could like be normal again. Like I forgot what it felt like to have normal hands. And so I was just like, after that, I had to reevaluate everything, how I did work, if I needed someone to help me, like all of that stuff. I went to physical therapy. I'm good now. My hand's still normal now. But it took almost a year of therapy and recovery time. And like I could have prevented that by just like making sure I was taking care of myself and stuff like that. And I don't really talk about that much because I'm like, who cares that my hands were tingly? But like,
that's important for people to know. Oh my
for
goodness.
people who work on a computer a lot, never work in bed, always work in a desk. And like, there's just a bunch of stuff I was doing wrong because of my position when I was working, and I had bad posture. And that's why I got carpal tunnel. So
see, and one good thing I did learn about working in the office, I was the ergonomics trainer.
There you go.
So I had to go around, and even on my couch, because I'm sure, you know, we're all vertically challenged over here. I use two pillows because my couch is really deep. So if I sit on the couch and work, I have to use two pillows back there. I have to make sure that my feet are planted so circulation is still going. And I make sure if I sit on my laptop, I put something in between to make sure I'm not improperly resting here either. But that is so important. Oh my goodness. See, that is the reason why I'm working at the university and I'm burnt out, falling asleep at the computer, literally in my bed. The computer is right here and I'm waking up like, when did I go to bed? Totally not okay. Totally not okay. So I can definitely relate to that. I think that had a lot to do with me going full time, because people would call me, like I would talk to my mom in the morning on the way to work, and I was late a few times because I had fell asleep editing, or I fell asleep and I literally had a bowl of cereal in my lap. I remember I told my coworkers this and they were cracking up laughing. I got out of the shower, put on my robe, you know, got dressed for bed, and then I was like, oh shoot, let me send off a couple emails, but I'm like, I'm hungry. Bowl of cereal in my lap. And I'm just sitting here like this. Like my body, thank God my body's smart because my body didn't teeter or anything, but I'm sitting here holding a bowl of cereal in my lap. Computer's right here and I'm knocked out. I woke up probably about 4 o'clock in the morning like, when did I go to bed? It's bad. This is when you need help, guys. When you get to passing out at random times, it's not good for you. It happens, but it's not good.
So what barriers do you set in your life now? Obviously, you're not working at 9 to 5 in between your side hustle, but like what barriers do you set now? Do you kind of you said you work till 3, 4 a.m. sometimes. So is there a time where you're just like days of the week where you might take off, or is it still grind time? Since it is still early in your business technically?
Mm-hmm. So right now so the way most of my photography schedule, I won't say most, but a lot of it is seasonal. So there's like 2 main dry months in the year, which is normally January and September. And then they pick up super fast. So the good thing is I take advantage of the dry months. And then in January, after all the Valentine's Day, the love and all that good stuff passes, in comes graduate season. So before it gets crazy, I make sure, because also my birthday is in February, I make sure I take a week off of nothing and don't do anything until that week is over. And while even in the busy season, I make sure at least twice a day I take an hour, because I love movies. They kind of get my mind away from work. I put the computer away and everything, and I make me something good, and I lay on the couch and I watch a movie just to rest my mind away from editing, away from thinking about editing, away from thinking about my schedule. But I make sure I do that. And then on Mondays, I try to do as least work as possible, and I sleep until my body just wakes me up. And then even after I'm woke, I kind of just sit there and relax. So even if I have a shoot on that Monday, I try to make sure that I relax in bed, because weekends are always crazy for me. So now I do have like a process, and I'm like, oh, you've been working all morning. All right, let's get our hour of relaxation in. So it helps. But yeah, those are kind of like my things.
Great. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but we have 9 minutes left. All right, so we're going to talk about one more like businessy type thing. Then we're going to talk about some tips for people watching who want to be in photography or videography. So
Awesome.
One of my last business questions is, when you go from getting that like the same paycheck every 2 weeks or every week to not knowing what you're going to be getting, like, how do you kind of plan in advance so you know that you can pay your bills at least? How do you pay yourself first? Do you pay your bills first? Do you have a, not salary, do you pay yourself, or is it still money going into the business, which usually the beginning stages, people are like, I ain't get paid till like 5 years into my business. And I'm like, I can't work like that, but some people
do you, brother. See, so for me, I had to change my pay schedule. So first rule in business is decide, serious people pay. I'll say that, serious people pay. So at first I used to say, oh yeah, you can pay me whenever after the shoot. Nope, not anymore. We take a deposit. Exactly. Hello. Never. We take a deposit to take your space off the calendar. I know exactly what I do with deposit. Deposit is non-refundable. That's when I go get whatever it is I need to get. If I want an extra SIM card, if I want an extra battery, or if I just need a grocery shop, I know that that's fine. I can spend that loosely versus a full payment of a session. And then for my regular sessions, payment and balances are due 72 hours prior for the exact same reasons. It also becomes non-refundable at 72 hours, and that confirms my attendance. So deposit confirms your attendance, balances confirms my attendance. And for the month, until I meet my bills, I don't touch anything. So say for instance, my rent is $10 a month in Disney World. My rent is $10 a month until my account gets to. Sometimes I let it double just to be on the safe side. So let's just say I finally get the $20, then I will start touching money. And I don't, depending on what system is being used or whatever gets there first, I don't put it into a personal account or the business account until it gets to capitalize over my bill. So until I have more. So that's mainly how my money works now. And so I pay myself once I've, in my mind, paid my bills.
Great. And looking back, we just finished up a year. Depending on when this video goes up, it might not be January, but we're filming this in January. We just finished 2018. And so how do you kind of reflect on the year, and what things are you shifting this year in your photography business? And like, what are some mistakes that you can tell like people that are like, oh, well, I'm getting into photography. Like, what are some mistakes? Like, don't do this.
as soon as you get somebody to pay for your work, be very strategic. I don't know why I'm talking to this, but be very strategic as to taking free jobs. However, also be humble enough to take jobs that are free, depending on what they qualify for. A photographer told me when I was working at the university, I also met with a lot of photographers too that were pretty local before I even went serious. So the university photographer told me, how do you know your work is good? And I said, well, I don't know. He said, the first time someone pays you for your work, that's when you know your work is good enough to be paid for. So never do anything for free. I feel like I took that advice, and then there were some jobs I did for free, but they weren't really free. We either bartered. So bartering to me is okay depending on what it is, and make sure it's evil, not evil, equal. But make sure once you've gotten paid work, continue to get paid work. Don't let anyone convince you that you can do this for free, or they can find someone else. If they can find someone else, great. That wasn't your client to begin with, and that is okay, and have confidence in that. Another one is don't give too much work for free. So when I first started shooting, I was snapping that dang button and coming home with 2,000 pictures to go through like a crazy person. Nail the shot. Know the shot, be confident in the shot, so that when it's time to call and deliver, you know exactly what you're delivering, and you're confident in the shot, therefore your client will be confident in the shot. Another thing is consistency. Get your edits out, and we're also working on that every day, but be consistent and deliver consistently. Don't take 100 years. And communicate is the biggest tool. I can't say it enough. Communicate. If you're going to be late on delivery, communicate. If they ask you for something, give them the answer. Be very, very responsive. The best way, and the reason I book so many jobs, is because I use my tools wisely. Yes, no, I'm not always on my computer, so I don't always have Gmail on my phone. I'm emailing back, or I'm responding back to people. And it's better to do that so they don't pile up later. So communicate. That would probably be the main source of advice there. Communicate. Once you're getting paid, pay. Don't over deliver, and have confidence in your work. We're starting photography.
Those were all great, and I feel like that advice transfers to other industries as well. I was just thinking, all right, yeah, that's something I work on, like as a video creator and stuff like that. And I just wanted to wrap up kind of just, how do you set goals for your business, and what are some things you're reaching for? It doesn't have to be 2019, but like, what is the big vision for you? Do you want to be hands off eventually, where you have photographers under you? Do you always want to be behind the lens? Like, what's the goal for you?
I want 3315. It has always, I think I've always planned 3315 to be bigger than just photography, but I also, not necessarily hands off, but I want a bigger team. So open my own studio, but not just for photography, for video, for creatives. I have on my list, I believe, 16. So apparel, agency, video, photography. I think I put cinema, and then so like creative directing behind the scenes. I think that's it. So I have like an umbrella of goals, but my personal goal is to have, for whatever amount of time is in my time frame of life, to work with one client. Doesn't have to necessarily be a celebrity, but just somebody who needs consistent photography, just to build a good rapport with photography needs. So to be able to study someone, and to also have consistency and pay. As a photographer, you have a whole bunch of jobs, so you have to be really good about that. But to be contracted versus booked, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
And this year, I have already kind of gotten one specific new up-and-coming entertainer has hired me to do something that I don't even know if I'm ready for yet. So I definitely have joy to share with you guys. Okay. And then I've had my first person book me on a monthly retainer. So I'm super excited about that. I'm nervous. I'm excited for 2019. But yeah, those are like some of my goals. So eventually hands off, but also working with one high profile client, or just one client who needs me in all my photography-ness. So
I like that.
Those
I like
are my
that.
goals so far. Right.
We'll see. Hey, you just spoke it into the universe. It will come back.
It's out there.
Great. So where can people find you on socials, website? Where can they book you? Like, let them know.
Oh, 3315.com. So you spelled that. You spelled the numbers out. So THIRTYTHREEFIFTEEN.com. Instagram, whole name. Email is the same, 3315@gmail.com. Business line, if Joy hosts it, I'll also give you guys the business line. But I am available. I book 7 days a week. And you can find me. I'm really nice.
Yes.
We have a lot
Oh
of
my
fun.
gosh.
I love 3315 experience.
Woo! Yeah, it was so fun. I was just like, honestly, I need to book, like, we didn't talk about this after this, but I'm going to Spain. And when I come back to LA, I'm going to have so much free time my senior year, and we're just going to just do things. Like, I already have this plan, but I haven't told you about it yet. Like, that's the problem.
Okay, but you have it planned, so it's there. It's transcending. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. Look.
Great. So thank you so much.
So glad to be
chatting.
part of the call.
Yes.
Yay!
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Go down to the description box. I'll have everything she said linked down below, and I'll see you guys next week.